doing this event with, oh, yeah, forgotten about that. We're also sort of co-hosting this whole event with Can Be Well, the Canadian Association for Bioenergetic Wellness. And the key word for IASK this year is unity. So it's good to be working with other organizations to bring muscle response testing and kinesiology practitioners together, and hopefully to continue to sort of spread the word and grow awareness about kinesiology and muscle testing with the greater public. If at any point you want to drop into the chat who you are, where you're from, what brought you here today, that'd be really nice. Just again, as part of that unity, just helping us all to kind of find our community. So as you've probably seen, we are recording this. I've just got a pop-up box which I don't understand, so I'll click that and hopefully that'll be fine. So yeah, so we are recording this event. So just so that you're aware of that, and that just means you can catch up again in the future if you want to, or if you know anyone who wasn't here but would like to see it. So we have three speakers today: Jenni Halkett, Anne Williams, and Leixuri Peinado. And we're looking forward to hearing from them. But before then, I'd just like to introduce you to my colleague Marianne, who's going to do a meditation just to help us get into the right place for these talks today. So over to you, Marianne.
Thank you. I hope everybody hears me loud and clear. My voice has been gone for some days. Okay. I'm so thrilled that we are so many here together today. And I want to start this with a meditation, just to get us into the right mood for taking in all the wonderful things that our speakers are going to share with us today. So I want you to just find a comfortable place to sit, probably where you are already. You can close your eyes and start breathing. Concentrate on breathing. Let your breathing find a good and deep pattern. You can do it by breathing in on 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding your breath on 4, 2, 3, 4, and breathing out again on 4, 2, 3, 4, and then hold your breath on 4, 2, 3, 4. And let's give ourselves a real treat. Let's do it once more. This is something we need to do every day. Breathe deeply and calmly. In on 4. Hold your breath on 4. Breathe out on 4. And then hold your breath once more on 4. Then keep breathing in your own rhythm as you can feel your parasympathetic nervous system takes you deeper into relaxation. Notice the connection to earth through your feet, your hips, your spine, all the way to your neck and your head. Breathe and take in the connection to earth. Feel every muscle in your face relax more and more. Don't be distracted by thoughts coming into your head. Just let them fade away. This is just your own mind getting rid of all stress. Just keep on breathing. Listen to my voice and connect to our healing energy field. Release all tensions and distractions. Now, take a moment to connect through boundaries, national borders, continents. Connect through our collective field of energy. Kinesiologists and every other people sharing the same energy. You're you alone, but also part of the matrix of life, connected to each other's, connected with nature, connected with all the dreams of our planet. Walt Disney once said, if you can dream it, you can do it. If you can dream it, you can do it. And we can. Your heart and mine. Your vibrant energy and mine. Your dreams and mine. Together, we share the same dynamics. Let's share this meditation and treasure it in our house. We can do magic all over the world. Now, so breathe deeply in and let your lungs get rid of all tensions. And we're breathing in once more and start moving your fingers and toes, coming back to here and now. And here we are, sharing the same dream today. Thank you.
Thank you, Marianne. That was brilliant. I'm hoping I'll be able to find your meditations on Spotify, because that was brilliant. Thank you.
They're on they're on YouTube.
Ooh, brilliant. I know where I'm
Yes.
going after this.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so we have our first speaker today, who's Jenni. Just find my notes. Jenni Halkett, from Western Cape in South Africa. She's registered with the Association of Specialised Kinesiologists in South Africa, is an instructor in Touch for Health, neurotraining and emotional kinesiology. She runs Shift Happens, a name I really like, a space for learning kinesiology, which is also based in Cape Town in Hout Bay. So please welcome Jenni.
Jenni, you have to unmute yourself.
That's a good point. Thanks, Emma. Thank you so much for inviting me to present at this wonderful event. Yeah, and a very quick thank you to the organizers. Well done, the IASK team, and to all the translators, and then of course the people who are participating, who've come in to listen to all the presenters and the rest of whatever's going to happen from here on out. I think it's super exciting. So well done to all of you. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Do I need to go to the share screen thing now, Emma? Again?
Yes, you'll need to go to
Yes,
share
please.
screen,
Yep.
Jenni.
Okay, is that working? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
that's working.
Okay, fantastic. So once again, I find myself in a position of, oh my gosh, here I am again, all nervous and not really knowing if I'm going to be okay or not. But yeah, you do. You get past yourself and then take a deep breath. So thank you for that, Marianne. And we continue as we go along. Okay. So my presentation today is basically taken from the work by 3-in-1's Concepts and how they use the behavioral barometer, which is a chart of emotions with color to change your negative mind states into a more positive attitude, I suppose, is a good way of putting it. And they have 3 basic levels on their barometer, which I'll show you later, and how they use it to diffuse any misperceptions that we might have around our avoidance issues. And they use color relative to the different emotions, and also affirmations, which are really quite powerful. So it's quite a big topic that I'm going to squish into 15 minutes. So here we go. So everybody has a choice, okay? And the choices we make in present time are influenced by the traumas and joys we have experienced in the past. And the choices we make today create our future. And if we can resolve the traumas from the past and reinforce the joys, we'll be making choices which create the kind of future we really want to have. And that was a quote from the workshop, Body Circuits, Pain and Understanding, that was written by 3-in-1's Concepts. So a big thank you to them for their beautiful work, and especially for the color cards from the barometer from that workshop. Okay, next slide. Here we go. So our limbic brain, as it says on the slide there, is the grand central station of our emotions. And it responds so beautifully to any kind of color therapy, whether it's the clothes you're wearing or how you paint your house, the colors you use in your everyday life, or whether you go for color therapy or use Aurosoma. It's amazing how positively it affects the emotional aspect of your brain, as well as your physical body and your mentalness. The limbic brain also plays a crucial role in the processing and expression of emotions, and is involved in the formation and retrieval of memories. And it is also important in motivation and drives behavior related to survival, such as hunger, thirst, and sexual behavior. It's interesting to know that we feel before we think. And overall, the limbic brain plays a crucial role in regulating both physical and emotional responses to various stimuli. There's so much you can look up on the internet about how color affects our brain and our moods and our mental health and our physical health as well. So do yourself a favor and dive down that rabbit hole. You might take a week to come out of it though, so just be careful. So what is our essential self? According to 3-in-1's concepts, it's the genuine truth about the person's entire life experience from conception, and is often viewed as the most authentic version of oneself, encompassing inherent qualities and principles that shape an individual's identity and life journey. Your essence is what you truly are, what your beliefs are, what your thought process is, what you love doing, how you behave in different circumstances, and so many different things. You can't name them all. So coming back to the behavioral barometer in 3-in-1's concepts and the 18 essential affirmations, they relate to diffusing avoidance issues that isolate us from ourselves, mind from body, the mental from the physical. So in those avoidance issues or aspects, somewhere in the past, we needed or wanted to justify ourselves. So we fused this avoidance into our belief system and into our physical body. And from then on, it became the way we justified our behavior. And it's always quite fascinating and really astounding how we as human beings work so hard to not get what we truly, truly want. The 18 essential barometric affirmations tell you the hidden truth about an issue and speak to what you are avoiding. An avoidance that is deeply suppressed and hidden in the subconscious or in the body's cellular memory. So if you have a look at the overview or just a little very tiny plan of the behavioral barometer from 3-in-1's concepts, you have the emotional state of mind on the right-hand side, and on the left-hand side, you have your desired mind state or desired state of mind. And you can see that there are 3 primary levels: conscious, subconscious, and body. And each level interacts directly and simultaneously with the others. So just very briefly, conscious represents the present time issue. And it just means that the person is consciously aware of what is happening in the present time right now. And if the issue comes up if present time is where the real issue is, it just means that something has been brewing from your first 7 years of your life cycle and has now come online in the last 28 days, and you are ready to deal with it and get rid of it or defuse it, as they say. The second level, subconscious, represents the past experiences that relate directly to how and why we react and do what we, how and why we react the way we do in present time. So if the issue has triggered a similar unresolved childhood issue, with that comes a lot of shame, blame, and guilt. And this, in a nutshell, colors every area of your life. And with it comes a lot of misperception and self-denial and self-justification in this area. And then you have the body, which refers to your entire life experience from conception. And the body is as close as we can come to a person's essential self, the genuine truth about that person's overall experience. And the issue, if the issue has triggered similar unresolved issues since the first 7-year cycle of your life, beginning from conception, it'll entwine with many other issues from then until right now in present time. So it's quite interesting to note that the 3 layers, each or levels, interact with each other simultaneously and directly. With it just gives you a whole picture from a 3D perspective, I suppose you could say. So having a look at the cards, every level of the barometer every single word, I suppose you could say, that is listed there is associated to a color. So the colors are listed on the card. As you can see, acceptance is pale lemon yellow. And we did our best to find the closest color for each affirmation. So they're not perfect. You might find better colors that would suit the description of the color on the cards, as in saffron yellow. I'm not sure if that is saffron yellow, but it's the closest we could come for this presentation. So if you find better colors to go with the description of the colors, then please feel free to take the text and put it on the different colors. And then you just need to cut the cards for your use, okay? Because each card should be a separate card when you use them. Okay, so you would need to cut them in half, obviously. Okay. So I'm not going to go through all the cards because there are 18 levels with 18 different affirmations. You can see all the colors are listed as you go through the list. And I think it is just interesting how you, by looking at these cards, you are, as I said earlier, dealing with the avoidance of expressing these emotions. And you know, it doesn't matter if it's a negative or a positive emotion. It is, you're allowed to feel whatever it is that you are feeling. The problem comes in when the feeling causes a distress within the person. And that's when you need to address it, okay? So these are the different colors. They're really pretty, I think. The affirmations are really good. And right at the end, you can see there is a little page showing you how you can use the cards. So the trick here is you can either choose a color yourself if you're having an issue with yourself for that day and just choose a color. Or you can muscle monitor through the numbers 1 through to 18 if you are using the colors for your client. You can use your essence finger mode to access them as a correction if you know kinesiology. So when you're working with kids, it's really lovely to just get them to choose a color, because it's fun for them, and it sort of shows you where they are in their little lives and what they're up to. And then once you have found the card, you just read the affirmation and then get them to look in all 9 eye positions. And once they have done that, to track the infinity symbol while looking at the color card. So they don't need to look at the writing. You can turn the card around and just show them the color, okay, once you've read the affirmation to them. Or you can use it however you feel is the best way for you going forward. Oh, and when you're doing that correction, then just remember to hold the front and back of your heads. Okay, it'll help just diffuse all the stress around it. And that's that, I think. How am I doing for time?
You're absolutely fine for time. If there were a couple of questions, we would have time. But I thought that was brilliant. And yeah, I love color healing. So I thought the affirmations were really good.
Thank you. Thank you to 3-in-1's concepts, actually.
Yeah.
Somebody's just asked where we can get the cards.
Oh, Emma?
Sorry, I can answer. If you go into the IASK.org, I mean the website, our website, and the special page for, I can add it in the chat box right soon, but in the what you say, handbook for today, you have all the cards, so they're there, and there you have all the texts and all the presentations from this event, and you will find also the other events presentations and material there. So go into IASK website, and the 2 handbooks are at the top on the page. So just soon I add them here in the chat.
Great, thank you, Sabine.
Thank you.
It was very nice to see the behavior barometer made lively in this way, because I just love 3-in-1. And I love the behavior. So that was just so, it was like warming my heart, because I've taken all their workshops nearly, and I just love the energy behind the 3-in-1 concepts.
Yeah, they are amazing, I must say. Thank you so much.
That's fun. I want to introduce you our next speaker, and that's Anne Williams. And she's representing herself and the KinFit Holistics. Anne Williams, she's a kinesiologist, and she's a personal trainer. And she grew up with kinesiology and fell in love with Touch for Health at the age of 16. She's based in south of Ireland, and her personal experience with back injuries has motivated her to taking a lot of kinesiology courses. She started up her own practice in 2023, helping people with pain, stress, and limiting beliefs, among other things. And mental health has also been a massive part of her clinic life, working to help people understand themselves, helping them to see their own worth and how to express that. She is stressing the importance of having an abundance of techniques to have everybody at some point in their lives. And tonight she'll be presenting anchoring, be able to harness all the positive feelings to drive you. That's a technique helping us to have an influx of positive emotions whenever we need it. And tonight she will share her techniques with us. So Anne, the stage is yours, all yours.
Thank you, Marianne. I'm just going to try and share my screen. And if not, the lovely Emma is going to do it for me. Let's see. Can you see any of that?
It's working. It's quite tiny, though. Can you make it bigger?
Is that any help?
Yeah, but it's still like
Tiny.
in portrait format.
Okay. It might be better if you can do it, Emma, possibly.
Yeah, I will. You stop sharing and tell me when to then flip the
Yeah,
slides.
you can share away. I would, again, same as Jenny, I would like to say thank you to IASK and all your other organizers for helping organize, well, for putting all of this together and for giving me the opportunity to present. And what I want to present is a technique that comes from NLP called anchoring, and it is to be able to allow us to harness positive feelings to drive us forward whenever we need them. And it is so important in your mental health to not only be able to deal with stress, but also I think to be positive and have a positive mindset. And if you can go to the next one. So anchoring is a technique that originated from NLP. I actually came across it in Wayne Topping's work, in his stress release work. But basically, what we want to do with anchoring, you're trying to pair a physical touch with a feeling or a behavior that we want to feel. And we are able to make this deliberate. So we can have a deliberate cue or a trigger that is going to allow us to feel this positive state of mind or positive state of being. And you can go again, Emma, please. So for the benefit of our mental health, we want to use anchoring to instill positive feelings, and this can be suited to so many different scenarios. I've used this so often for myself. I have it right now, actually. And so for myself, for friends, and for obviously, of course, clients. If there's any situation where you can become stressed, or if there's a situation where you're just not confident about something, you can be quite nervous for possibly a presentation that you have to give at work, you can instill the positive feelings that you want to feel throughout, let's say, take for example, your presentation. And then throughout the presentation, you can hold your anchor and you're going to have access to those positive feelings. Thank you. So, as I said, for myself, for friends, and for clients, in so many situations, you can hold onto positive feelings. And just a tiny example could be feelings of just general positivity, feelings of confidence, gratitude, love, happiness, joy, calmness, security, contentment was another one actually that I used with a client recently. And it allows us to go beyond feeling neutral. So a lot of the techniques that people as kinesiology practitioners or just in general, you might have techniques that allow you to deal with stress and to reduce the intensity of a de-stress that you're feeling. But this allows us to actually come back down to neutral and then instill the positive. So I just put here, why just reduce stress by a little or even get all the way to neutral when you could feel confident, empowered, or happy, and the list goes on. So I'd like to go through the procedure with everyone today so that you can actually feel what it is like to feel the anchor, and then you can continue to use that for yourself, or possibly if some of you are practitioners, you can go and use it in clinic. So if you guys would indulge me, I would like you to think of a positive emotion that you want to feel. So if you would like to think about a specific situation, maybe you have, a kind of presentation coming up or something like that, or just in general, if there's kind of a positive emotion that you would like to feel more of, maybe something that you feel lacking a little bit at the moment. And I just gave the example of confidence. So if you can choose a positive emotion that you want to feel and you want to lock into your body. And then I want you to imagine and to feel this emotion as vividly as possible. So if you can remember a time when you genuinely felt this emotion in all its positivity. You can do this with your eyes open, or you can do this with your eyes closed. And just take yourself back to a time where you felt this positive emotion. So if it's confidence, where you felt truly confident. See yourself in that situation. What did it look like for you? What did it feel like in your body? How intense was it? Where in your body did you feel it? And it might be a case of you'll say that actually you never, you can't remember truly feeling or truly ever having this feeling. And if that is the case, just do the same thing and just imagine a situation where you truly feel that feeling. What would it look like for you? And how do you want to feel? You can take a few moments and do that. And you can also be choosing your anchor point in your body, okay? So you have to choose somewhere that you can touch purposely, but also discreetly. So if you are in the likes of a presentation or a meeting, it's not something obvious that, people are going to know what you're doing, okay? I generally like the inside of fingers. This here is my own. But you can have anything, as I said, anything that you can touch purposefully yet discreetly. I had a client the other day who, when she knew every time she's stressed, she has this thing and she always kind of ends up rubbing here on the back of her hand. So we put her anchor in here. So that became her anchor, just touching that point. So she didn't need to rub it, but just touching that point. So now anytime when she's stressed and she knows she's automatically going to go to here, instead of it just being something to help her through her stress, now she's going to instill her positive emotions. So if you guys could choose a positive anchor in your body, and that's going to be your anchor, even if you add to it, it doesn't just have to be for this one emotion. And once you've chosen your anchor, I want you to go back in and get in touch with this positive emotion that you want to instill once more. So you're going to go back into the same emotion, the same situation, the same imagery, but this time activate or hold your anchor point. And again, just go back in and be as vivid as possible. Make sure you can actually feel the emotion in your body. Where do you feel it? What does it feel like? And how intense is it? And again, just take a few moments and do this. See a lot of eyes still closed. I'm just going to give you another second. Take your time with it. You want to make sure that you can really connect with the feeling. And whenever you are ready, you can just test the anchor. So without thinking of anything, if you hold your anchor point, what changes in your body? Do you go back to feeling this emotion, this positive feeling, whatever you anchored in a second ago? It should feel the same in your body. So if you locked in, for example, joy, sometimes you'll automatically get a smile on your face. How is everyone feeling with that? Thumbs up? Very good. Okay. And then I just have some notes on that as well. I always get my clients to, sorry, Emma, if you could go to the next one as well. Yeah. So I always get clients or anyone that I give this to, you can add to your anchor. So once you become familiar with the procedure, now that you know how to create your anchor, you can use the same point, but you can add so many more emotions to it. And I often give people the example of anything positive that you want to hold on to. So if you are, even if you're driving, make sure you're doing it safely, but if you're driving down the road and there's a really nice sunrise or sunset, just take a moment and lock that into your anchor. If you're on holidays with your family and you just have this moment of pure calm and joy, and you're just watching, your family, sitting around with your family on the beach, hearing the water, and it just makes you feel amazing. Just take a few moments and lock that into your anchor. And the more you can add to your anchor, I generally say the more then that it'll be able to cope with. So that the bigger the de-stress, you have all of these positive emotions locked in here. And you can also use this in conjunction with other techniques. So if you're thinking of a particular stressor or a particular situation that is very intense, other techniques that you can use with it to bring down the level of stress first could also be really beneficial. So one big example would be the emotional stress release technique from Touch for Health. You've your 2 frontal eminences. If you had a really high stress on something, you could use your ESR points to first just bring down the level of stress so that you're coming down to very low stress or almost neutral, and then lock in your anchor with whatever the positives that you want to feel about this. And I think that is me. Thank you very much, guys. I think I'm good for time. Do I have any questions?
Hi, Anne. That was brilliant. Thank you. I can think of a few clients who could do with learning that technique quite quickly. So yeah, really useful. Thank you.
So welcome. Yeah, it's definitely been a great one for me and clients. Particularly, I've found, generally kids are quite quick healers anyway. But
Yes.
school students, like anywhere up to, young kids up to teenagers who, like in Ireland, their final school exams is around 17, 18, and it can be a very stressful time. So I've always given students of that age that are coming to me, lock in their anchor, and I'll do it with them while I'm in clinic, but I'll also go and tell them, go and add to it. So then as soon as you sit down to the paper, I teach them ESR and I teach their anchor. When you're sitting down in your exam or in your reading the paper, you're holding your ESR and your anchor at the same point. If you can, read through the whole paper. And the answers just come to them.
I know. I think what's
Wonderful.
brilliant about showing kids stuff like that as well is they're so willing to share that with other kids. Quite often, an adult is too embarrassed to share those sorts of things, whereas kids are very quick to share those techniques.
Absolutely.
Emma's got her hand up.
Yeah, I particularly love the fact that you can store, more emotions on there, as you said, when you're experiencing something beautiful, like some joy, as you say, or some gratitude, whatever, that you can store it in the anchor point, because I'm one of those people who find it difficult to say, okay, how did this feel? But then if I can store it, then as you say, it will come easier, and it will come to the surface, and it will be ready to grasp.
So yeah, so it's not just a flood of, you're trying to get in touch with that emotion, but if it's locked in, it's also a flood of those memories. So you might be bringing whatever that good memory is. It might be a nice holiday. It might be, good times with your family. It might be, I don't know, you got through a really good presentation at work or something, and just that feeling of empowerment after. Yeah, you can lock in all of those.
I noticed you mentioned you use a finger for locking in, but on your slide it said fingertips aren't always a good thing.
Yeah. So I kind of tell people not to do, like, holding the two finger, like any fingertips together, because in kinesiology, like, I would use my finger modes all the time. And also in, if you have to shake hands with somebody, and possibly, you might be more susceptible to energies, and might be somebody who's quite negative. Like, I do find that can kind of take over that. But I would use like the inside of fingers.
Okay.
So like mine would be, I don't know if you guys can see, but mine is there.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Or, the back of hands, or shoulders, arms. If you're going to be sitting down all the time, anything that suits.
Oh, that's brilliant. So yeah, thank you. Were there any more questions for Anne?
Denise, I see Denise.
Yeah, I always have questions. I was just wondering, I mean, with this anchoring, it sounds very promising. I'm just thinking, if one would have pain in their body and you anchored positive feelings or positive experiences within that point, it might foreseeably help with the pain in general, don't you think? Have you got any experience?
It's absolutely possible. I haven't tried it. I'd like if you did.
Amazing. I mean, there's so many different possibilities with that. It's a really good idea, I think. So I think I'm going to be testing that one out. Definitely. Thank you.
Thank
Brilliant.
you.
May I add one thing?
Yes, Anne-Marie, of course. Hi, Anne-Marie.
It is to Jenny, because what I thought it was a brilliant presentation. I just missed one thing. I missed the names of the founders. So I will pay a tribute to Gordon Stokes, Daniel Whiteside, and Candace Calloway, who were the three of the people who made the barometer and made it possible for us to use it. I've used it every day since I was introduced to it in 1986, so it's many years ago. I know the values of it. I've been teaching body circuit pain and understanding many years. I've stopped teaching now because of my age. But thank you for introducing the behavioral barometer. And please remember Gordon Stokes, Daniel Whiteside, and Candace Calloway. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Right, I'll do that without my microphone switched on. Does anyone have any questions for Jenny? Well, we've got a few minutes because we are slightly ahead of time. Everyone's so quiet. Don't let it just be us talking.
Jenny, I mean, I don't want to take the floor for the others, but since there is time and I don't see any more hands up, I wanted to thank you for the idea of the, well, I didn't take all the courses that you were mentioning with in 3-in-1. I did take a couple only, and I do know the behavioral barometer, but I hadn't had the affirmations, and I think that makes it even more wonderful. And I'm grateful to have them now. And I will definitely cut them out. I will do some crafts. and use your colors. I thought the saffron was really correct.
Yeah, I agree. They were wonderful.
Okay,
Was
so Sabine's got her hand up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to
Sabine, we can't hear you.
I was too quick there. So I just wanted to see the chat. If you go into the chat, I added the link to find the cards that are placed on our website. But also, Marianne, I saw your channel with I mean your YouTube list with, and I saw that you have
Okay.
shared like meditations for all chakras, and you show some music. So there is a link to listen to Marianne's chakra meditations if you follow that. So it's also in the chat.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you, Sabine. Yep.
Maybe one
Okay.
can practice their Norwegian there.
Yes, that's the
So-
problem. That's the problem.
Okay.
Just use the energy of them. Maybe I'll make them in English ones.
Okay, so if we're ready to move on, we will move on to Leixuri Peinado, who's our final speaker for today. She's going to be talking about childhood anxiety, which is a topic I find really interesting. A lot of my clients are children, and they find life can be quite stressful, especially in the schooling system and with the sort of fast-paced technology and social media as it is at the moment. So Leixuri has worked in the world of alternative therapies for over 25 years in a range of disciplines, including flower therapy, gem therapy, and aromatherapy, to name a few. But she says her greatest passion is kinesiology. This presentation is in Spanish with a translation in English, so make sure the English speakers have their selection done. And please welcome Leixuri. Just need to unmute there.
Muchísimas gracias. Tengo que hacer una pequeña corrección que ahora veréis, porque creo que he entendido algo que decías sobre las redes sociales y no va exactamente mi presentación por ahí. Pero bueno, ahora lo vemos, ¿qué os parece? Comparto pantalla. Lo primero, aparte de esto, es daros las gracias a todos y en especial a la IASK por permitirme colaborar con todos vosotros. A ver, compartir. Muy bien. Bueno, esta presentación está sacada de mi curso Apoyo Emocional con Kinesiología y Cuentos. Yo me enamoré de la kinesiología ya hace unos 17 años y sigo usándola en mi día a día. Y a raíz de ahí y de ser madre, me di cuenta de que era muy útil también en el hogar, en casa. Así que todo mi esfuerzo, aparte de hacer sesiones individuales para todos los adultos, es enfocarlo también e impartir talleres para ayudar a esos padres a acompañar de una forma adecuada a los niños. Que me ha gustado mucho porque en todas las presentaciones he visto que habéis hecho mención a ellos y me gusta muchísimo que los tengamos en cuenta. Así que, bueno, os voy a hacer un resumen para ajustarme al tiempo, porque de este tema hay muchos frentes abiertos, muchas cosas que les crea ansiedad. En este caso me he querido centrar en el tema del fracaso escolar y el no cumplir las expectativas parentales, el cómo la presión de los padres puede hacer que se creen los niños un perfeccionismo que los agobia de tal manera que les crea una ansiedad continua. Así que, bueno, me voy a centrar un poquito en eso y voy a terminar contándoos cómo trabajo yo con ellos, con el tema de los cuentos, que os he preparado uno para que veamos ese rol parental, cómo afecta a una niña en concreto. Bueno, las expectativas parentales tienen un impacto en los niños porque siempre les está creando un miedo a decepcionar a sus padres. ¿Vale? Los padres nos centramos mucho en intentar que nuestros hijos den lo mejor de sí y estén sacando las mejores calificaciones académicas y desgraciadamente, no sé en otros países, pero aquí en España no se tiene tan en cuenta las habilidades del niño como un estándar académico que en muchas ocasiones no se puede cumplir, porque esos niños no tienen esa habilidad para ciertas materias. Entonces, digamos que en muchos colegios hay una educación muy convencional y no tienen en cuenta si el niño tiene un aprendizaje kinestésico, si lo tiene auditivo o si lo tiene visual. Entonces los tratan a todos por igual, cuando eso es un error porque así no podemos conseguir que ellos den lo mejor de sí, si no tenemos en cuenta cómo aprenden. Entonces, como el sistema no está del todo adaptado, los padres en muchas ocasiones no queremos que siempre, digamos, estén aprobando o tenemos muy en cuenta las calificaciones de esos numeritos que ponen en los exámenes, cuando deberíamos centrarnos más en el tema de el esfuerzo del niño para realizar esos exámenes. Entonces, en ocasiones se hacen refuerzos negativos. Si un niño, pongo un ejemplo, cuando un niño trae un examen con un 5 raspadito, el padre en lugar de alegrarse mucho porque su hijo pues ha dado lo mejor de sí, muchas veces usa frases como la próxima vez hay que estudiar más. Tienes que esforzarte más y no ha tenido en cuenta que quizás ese niño que en esa materia le cuesta muchísimo se ha estado esforzando al máximo. Ese tipo de comentarios, en lugar de ayudarlos y de motivarlos, lo que hacen es meter aún más presión y empiezan los ciclos de ansiedad. Porque si yo me esfuerzo y no me lo reconocen, ¿qué es lo que tengo que hacer para que mi padre y mi madre estén contentos? Y se van anclando esas sensaciones ahí en el cuerpo, entran en estrés mental, con lo cual no van a poder desarrollar toda su capacidad al máximo. Ya sabemos que cuando estamos relajados y felices y motivados para aprender, todo lo que nos explican es mucho más enriquecedor y lo absorbemos con mucha mayor facilidad. Y los niños que tienen una curiosidad innata, cuando los motivamos, aprovechan eso al máximo. Sin embargo, si los estamos estresando, inhiben todo su cerebro y no entienden lo que lo que le vayas a explicar. Da igual que les guste o que no les guste, si están bajo presión ya no lo van a poder aprender de una forma correcta. Entonces, a corto plazo, eso les van desarrollando, bueno, vamos notando unos síntomas, ¿vale? En muchas ocasiones nosotros que casi todos somos kinesiólogos, sabemos que lo que no se procesa a nivel emocional, pues sale en el cuerpo, ¿verdad? Entonces aparecen dolores de cabeza, dolores de estómago, sudoración excesiva, palpitaciones y fatiga constante. Luego tenemos esos síntomas emocionales que empiezan a estar los niños irritables, con un llanto fácil, con miedo al fracaso, empiezan a tener una baja tolerancia a la frustración y eso les lleva a intentar evitar enfrentarse a ciertas materias, evitan ir al colegio o cuando tienen un examen se ponen tan nerviosos y tienen tanta ansiedad que entonces están con los dolores de estómago y digamos que los usan también como de excusa para no ir a hacer ese examen porque tienen tanto miedo que su cuerpo se está bloqueando. Entonces, a largo plazo, mantener esta situación en casa hace que haya un deterioro de las relaciones familiares. Los niños no perciben a sus padres como la fuente de apoyo que necesitan. No sienten que les estén enseñando a gestionar esas emociones de forma correcta y en ocasiones en las que eso se alarga mucho, mucho en el tiempo y los acompañantes adultos no se dan cuenta de lo que están provocando su actitud, hace que los niños entren en depresión e incluso tiendan a estar aislados socialmente porque no empiezan a no exteriorizar lo que están sintiendo, porque no se sienten comprendidos, sobre todo en su entorno familiar. Así que creo que es muy importante ayudar a los niños, a brindarles herramientas como nos decía antes la compañera, pues algún anclaje para ellos sentirse mejor, pero también es muy, muy importante enseñar a los adultos a cómo acompañar a esos niños para que la autoestima de ellos cuando vayan creciendo esté fuerte. Entonces, ¿cómo lo hago yo? Yo lo hago a través de los cuentos, ¿vale? Uno, la kinesiología, ya sabemos que con kinesiología podemos saber exactamente qué emoción es la que está bloqueada, qué es lo que está sintiendo ese niño, aunque ellos mismos quizás no sepan expresarlo. Y por medio del test muscular descubrimos cuál es la emoción que le está afectando en ese momento. Y luego uso distintas cosas porque dentro del curso de apoyo emocional con kinesiología y cuentos hay distintas técnicas, pero una de las herramientas que además recomiendo mucho que la lleven a casa porque se empiezan a establecer unos vínculos muy saludables es usar la literatura infantil que nos da lecciones tanto a los niños como a los adultos, pero de una forma con un lenguaje muy sutil, muy adaptado a todas las edades, para que ellos lo puedan entender perfectamente y los adultos se den cuenta también del mensaje. Y además, nadie se siente violento, ¿vale? Incluso cuando tú le presentas una historia con un mensaje muy concreto a un adulto, eh, se identifica con el personaje, pero no se siente juzgado, con lo cual es algo muy útil, que en el momento en el que el adulto o el niño se siente juzgado, pues ya es un poco como que se cierra a cualquier ayuda terapéutica. Entonces, a mí me parece una herramienta muy útil para acompañarlos. Pero por supuesto, el cuento en sí o la historia en sí no es la solución. Es una herramienta que tiene que estar basada en un buen acompañamiento, acompañamiento del terapeuta o de los papis en casa, de la persona que esté acompañando al niño. Tenemos que los niños se identifican perfectamente con los personajes y con lo que les está sucediendo y los usan de modelo de comportamiento. ¿Vale? Si este personaje le está pasando esto que es similar a lo que me está sucediendo a mí y lo puede resolver, yo también lo voy a poder resolver. Por lo tanto, es muy, muy importante saber que no todos los cuentos sirven, no nos sirve lo que nos cuentan y no nos sirve el enfoque en muchas ocasiones. Hay que poner muchísima atención al mensaje, a los personajes, a los valores que transmite el cuento o esa historia en sí, para saber qué es lo que vamos a transmitirle al niño y qué es lo que va a entender. Esto va a hacer que una vez hayamos contado la historia, podamos establecer un diálogo sobre todos los personajes que hay en esa historia y de cómo se va desenvolviendo. Entonces yo os he traído uno para que veamos cómo la presión social y la presión parental están influyendo a una niña. Así que os lo voy a contar. A ver si podéis ver también un poquito las ilustraciones, porque siempre nos dan así mensajes bastante concretos y a los niños les conecta mucho con sus propias emociones. No solo el texto, sino también lo que están viendo. Cuanto más pequeñitos, tenemos que buscar historias que tengan poca letra y que sean muy visuales. Y ya conforme se van haciendo un poquito más mayores, podemos hacer textos mucho más elaborados. Os cuento, La niña que nunca cometía errores, que es de Mark Pett y Gary Rubinstein. El viernes comenzó como cualquier otro día para ver Beatriz nunca falla. Se puso unos calcetines del mismo color y un zapato en cada pie. Se acordó de darle brócoli a su hámster Humberto, ya que era su alimento favorito. Y cuando preparó a su hermano Carlos un sándwich, le puso exactamente la misma cantidad de mantequilla que de mermelada. Cuando salió a saludar, todos sus admiradores la estaban esperando. No olvido decir buenos días y gracias. Le preguntaron si había hecho la cama. Y sí, la había hecho. Quisieron saber si había olvidado hacer los deberes de matemáticas. No, ¿cómo era posible? ¿Cómo se presenta el espectáculo de talentos esta noche? Le preguntaron. Estoy lista, contestó Beatriz sonriente. Al fin y al cabo, llevaba 3 años seguidos ganando el concurso con su actuación de malabares. La mayoría de la gente no sabían ni cómo se llamaba, pues la llamaban simplemente la niña que nunca cometía errores. Porque hasta donde alcanzaba la memoria, a Beatriz Nunca le había salido nada mal. A diferencia de Beatriz, Carlos cometía muchos errores. Se comía los lápices de colores y dibujaba con judías verdes. Bailaba con las manos y tocaba el piano con los pies. A Carlos le encantaba cometer errores. En el colegio, Beatriz, junto a sus dos mejores amigas, Sara y Emilia, formaban parte de un grupo de cocina. Para preparar unas gigantescas magdalenas de ruibarbo, necesitaban 4 huevos. Beatriz se acercó a la nevera y los tomó con cuidado. Los huevos más grandes que encontró. Pero de vuelta con los huevos, resbaló y los huevos salieron volando. Beatriz estaba a punto de cometer su primer error. Pero no. Uy, por poco, pensó Beatriz. Lo siento, Beatriz, se me ha caído un pedazo de ruibarbo. No digas nada, dijo Beatriz. El resto del día, en el colegio, Beatriz no pudo dejar de pensar en su casi error. De vuelta a casa, Beatriz vio como Emilia y Sara estaban patinando. Ven a jugar con nosotras. Es divertido, pero Beatriz vio cómo resbalaban y se caían continuamente. Así que dijo, no, gracias. En la cena, Beatriz apenas probó bocado. ¿Va todo bien, cariño?, le preguntó su padre. Estoy preocupada porque esta noche no quiero equivocarme. Todo el mundo me estará mirando. ¿Preocupada?, le dijo el padre. Si tú nunca cometes errores. Beatriz intentó sonreír. Después de cenar, Beatriz se empezó a preparar para el espectáculo de talentos. Primero despertó a su hámster Humberto. Después agarró la sal de la mesa. Y por último, llenó un globo de agua. La sala del colegio estaba a rebosar. Beatriz sentía los nervios en el estómago. Esperó a que sonara su música. Es ella, la niña que nunca comete errores, dijo una mujer. Oh, seguro que le sale muy bien. Siempre lo hace todo perfecto, dijo un hombre. Cuando la música empezó a sonar, Beatriz lanzó a Humberto por los aires. Finalmente hizo lo mismo con el globo de agua y con el salero. Beatriz no perdía el ritmo. El público aplaudía entusiasmado, pero ella notó algo raro. En el salero, la sal que caía no era blanca. ¡Achis! Humberto se sorprendió tanto que se agarró con las garras al globo y ¡plas! Se explotó. Sobre Beatriz cayeron Humberto, pedazos de globo, agua y pimienta. Por primera vez, Beatriz había cometido un error y era muy grande. La música dejó de sonar. Beatriz no sabía qué hacer. Llorar, salir corriendo. El público estaba pasmado. Nadie podía creer que la niña que nunca cometía errores se hubiera equivocado. Beatriz miró a Humberto. El pelo de Humberto estaba empapado y con trocitos de globo. A Beatriz se le escapó una risita. Y la risa pasó risotada. Y la risotada se convirtió en una carcajada. Los asistentes se miraron unos a otros y luego a Beatriz. Primero soltaron risitas, luego unas risotadas y finalmente estallaron en carcajadas. Beatriz y el público rieron tanto que se olvidaron por qué se estaban riendo. Esa noche, por primera vez, Beatriz durmió mejor que nunca. Por la mañana siguiente, ninguno de sus admiradores la estaba esperando. Y cuando se estaba vistiendo, decidió ponerse un calcetín de lunares y uno de cuadros. Beatriz y Carlos se prepararon unos sándwiches. Esta vez, untaron la mantequilla y la mermelada por el lado exterior. Lo llamaron sándwich exterior de mantequilla y mermelada. Se ensuciaron muchísimo, pero estaba riquísimo. Por la tarde, Beatriz encontró a Sara y a Emilia patinando en el parque. Las tres se cayeron al suelo muchas veces y se rieron. Ahora, nadie la llamaba la niña que nunca cometía errores. Simplemente la llamaban Beatriz. Bueno, pues como veis en este cuento, esta niña estaba completamente presionada, ¿verdad? Porque nunca había fallado. Cuando ella expresa que tiene una duda, el padre no le da la opción de expresarle, la nula diciendo que no se preocupe porque ella nunca comete errores. Menos mal que cuando al fin pasa ese error, se relaja de tal forma que empieza a disfrutar de la vida, empieza a descansar y a hacer cosas que le tocan, cosas de niña. No sé cómo lo habéis visto vosotros o si habéis percibido todos estos cambios, pero a mí me parece que da para mucho, mucho diálogo. Así que, bueno, y hasta aquí mi aportación. Ya veis un poquito cómo voy usando las historias según en la temática en la que estemos trabajando, en este caso la ansiedad que le provoca esa presión social y esa presión de los padres de que lo tenía que hacer todo bien porque siempre lo había hecho bien y entonces daban por hecho que nunca se podía equivocar, que eso es una presión enorme para cualquier persona, pero sobre todo para un niño, el pensar que no puede hacer nada mal. Así que voy eligiendo las historias según la temática que se trabaje. Así que no sé si queréis comentar algo.
Thank you so much. Does anyone have any questions? Looking for hands.
Emma has.
Oh, yeah, Emma.
Of course I do. Muchas gracias, Leixuri. This was really, really beautiful. I particularly enjoyed the story. I didn't catch the name of the book that you use. Maybe you can write it in the chat, or you have several books with several stories that one could look into. And also, if I think I looked in the handbook in the material that you sent me, and sorry, and I didn't see this particular story in the
Vale, no, en el manual que os escribí no he puesto el cuento, lo escribo, se llama La niña que nunca cometía errores, pero es que hay muchos. Yo ahora estoy intentando subirlos al canal de YouTube, un poquito así por temáticas. pero es que hay muchísimas, muchísimas historias. Voy a escribiros el nombre, a ver, para que... Nunca
Wonderful. This has been.
come-
Are there any more questions? No? Then thank you very much. This has been a wonderful time being together. And we want to thank all the people putting effort into this World Mental Health Day. The Can Be Well, IASK, the Bioenergetic Wellness, all the speakers sharing their fantastic knowledge from the barometer, the behavior barometer, and the 3-in-1 over to the anchoring of very good feelings, and over to the knowledge that doing things the wrong way often can learn us a lot. And it does. I know. And last but not least, all the wonderful people around the world making all this vibrant energy that has been here tonight. I'm so proud of being a kinesiologist and to be part of this collective and connective energy. And personally, I think I'll try to use these anchoring techniques and anchoring in the connection we've had tonight. This knowledge and energy is worth saving. So I just want to say thank you to everybody and know that together we can do magic, and we certainly will. Thank you very much.